Hello. Hold on. I'm going to move something. I think it's going to move my camera. Oops. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Very good. Still kind of wobbly. I got to reconfigure all this crazy stuff here. No matter what I do, there's some wobbliness. I think a lot of it has to do with um I'm on a raised floor in this house. It's not a slab. And then it's, obviously it's wood floor and everything, and it's, a very ancient house, so everything kind of whoa moves all over the place. Hey, Kathy. Hi, Patricia. Is it warm or cold where you are, Patricia? I forget if you're high desert, low desert. I forget where. Oh, you did. I haven't, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I have been busy, busy, busy all day long. I got home about 45 minutes ago. I put groceries away. I gave doggy biscuits to my dog, doggy biscuit to my husband, and then ran over here. I haven't even cleaned up the table. I haven't done anything. So I haven't even checked it. For you, it's cold. Okay. Hey, Lisa. Hi, Tamar. Didn't forget about you. Just haven't been home all day. I'll still get with you about those journals. 60. Oh, I like 60, especially if it's sunny. Even, I'm kind of weird. If it's sunny and not windy, I like 40s and 50s. I like that. I like the feeling the warmth of the sun on my back, but when you're breathing that cold air, and you feel it on your face. I like that. 70, but ooh, that's kind of humid. Sounds like it wants to rain. '60's a heat wave. Hi, Elizabeth. Did I say hello, Brenda? I think I just commented to your comment. Hello. Now, today was a lot cooler than the other days. I think the high must have only been about maybe 55, and it was cloudy. So it was one of those dreary kind of gloomy doomy kind of days. And it's supposed to be just as cool tomorrow plus drizzly rain. So not one of my favorite types of days at all. Hey, Lucy. Oh boy. Hey, Joanne. Oh, you're quite welcome. So anyway, I what did I do? The only thing I did while we were apart is I did sew these down because I'm not set up over here to have my sewing machine here where my camera is. So I just sewed the ones that we decided to turn into pockets. I sewed those down. And for those of you that don't have sewing machines, you can glue them or you can hand stitch them. I love hand stitching in journals. I think it looks so cool. Okay, I like strings, but not that long. We just trim these up. I won't do anything yet that is, as far as construction. We'll wait till everybody gets here. I'll just clean up. Like I said, I haven't really had any time to really do anything. Except this, I did this last night. And I'll put these back where they're supposed to go. I think I was putting these goofy kind of papers in there. Yep, 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 yep. That one there. There's the one we were working on. I'll put those in there. I think they all go there, right? Yeah, I had to add an extra so we could have a center one. Odd number. It's all coming back to me. It's all coming back to me. Hey, Johnny. Who else did I miss while I was looking down? I'm looking down again. I had to run errands. I had 2 appointments. I really didn't get everything done I was supposed to. And now I got to go run around in the dreary cold tomorrow to get done. Yuck. Yuck, yuck, and double yuck. But I do have my tea. Uh-oh. So I'm going to get all wired up. I felt like having my sweet tea today, so I picked some up on the way home. So, who knows? Who knows? I'm going to get this out of the way. Uh-oh. Lisa has a winter advisory. Hi, Sherry. Do you have? No, I don't, Johnny. I don't have a laser any kind. Black, white, or color. Why? Have you found a good deal for me? Oh, yeah, Joanne, I don't know why I always forget that you're in Oklahoma. You're practically my neighbor. And you get all the bad weather right before we do. So see what you've got, that's what we're going to get tomorrow. It's supposed to be yucky tomorrow. And Saturday. Mm-hmm. You know, Joanne, I was going to say Joanne. You know, Johnny, I don't know if it, well, it depends how you tea dye. Okay, I'm a very lazy tea dyer because I don't enjoy doing it, but I like the way it looks. So this is what I do. I get my paper. Well, let me backtrack. I tea dye my my what I print with my inkjet. I've never had any problems, but I don't do it like normal people do. I make a really I would say very strong tea bath for mine. And what I do with a brush, I brush it on the back. Like if you print on one side and the other side, you know, most of us, we only print one side. And so I get the brush and I brush that, you know, that really strong on the back and then just go lay it, you know, on a table or whatever, wherever I'm doing it. And that's all I do. I don't dunk it. I don't let it sit there forever. I just basically brush it on the back and I've never had a problem. And it gives, you know, obviously it colors that backside and it gives both sides that crunchy feel that we like. And, you know, it's not going to tea dye what you printed, but it's going to cover up all that white stuff. And that's usually all I care about. But I'm not sure what you want for your end result. So I don't have a problem tea dyeing my stuff. No, I know what you're saying, but I haven't had that problem. I go ahead and tea dye afterwards. But you're talking about you want to tea dye what you actually print, right? Because I'm just concerned about the back side. But like I said, I don't have one, and I've tea dyed and coffee dyed lots of stuff, and I've never had a problem. Printers for 1/7. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I like my printer too. I think I get ink maybe, I think it was over a year before I got some ink, and I just now had to buy some, but I was only low on the yellow. All the rest I still had it. I didn't realize whatever, colors I like, I guess it's more of the vintagey looking stuff because I always run out of my yellow before I do anything else. And most people run out of their black. I kind of, I have plenty of black still. Hey, Michelle. I think that's what we all struggle with is figuring out, what kind of printer. Because you find some people that are so loyal to one particular brand, and then others, that think that brand stinks. I just wonder if sometimes, like sometimes you get cars and you get lemons, and some of them, work out just fine. I wonder if the same thing happens with printers, because sometimes it's like the spectrum is so way out there as far as, you know, what you like and what you don't. Yeah, I used to have an HP printer. It wasn't a laser printer, but just a regular printer. Man, it was just costing too much. It was a joke with my husband. He says, it's probably cheaper if you get a new printer every time you need it because there was printers out there at the time, 60, $70, and it came with a cartridge of, all the all the ink and everything, and you could print for a year with a new printer, and it almost cost that much to buy all of your ink. And so he goes, "What? Time to buy a new printer?" And I would just laugh at him and say, "No, I don't think so." Hi, Linda. Hey, Tanya. Well, I got a couple of messages that some individuals were actually working on the kit with me. I was so excited. I was glad I didn't go too fast because they said they were, halfway keeping up with me. So that was good. And then others, are going to do it later. And then some, hadn't even gotten their kit yet because he ordered late. Um, so it'll work out just fine, I think, for everybody. And I think we can wrap it up tonight. Um, Easy enough, I think. Oh, I know, Lucy. I agree. It is just a waste. Unless you have somewhere you can donate the printer to. Um, that's another thought. You're giving the printer to somebody and maybe they could use it. I did say hello, Suzanne, didn't I? I'm forgetting already. I saw Samantha, Suzanne, S&S. Now I forget. I don't have Michelle in my ear saying, say hello to Suzanne. Whoops, there goes my floor. Oh, see, I didn't have time to mess with that with my scanner to see what I could do. I think I'll play with that later on tonight if we don't get off too late. Because it's really frustrating. Now I went in, I'm going to try it right now while we're talking. I went in and turned off the autofocus. You guys let me know. I'm sure it would be going wacky doodle right now if it was on or off. We're okay, right? It's not doing anything. Well, last time it did it when I took stuff off of here. What is it doing? Let me know if it's going crazy again. I think it's okay. I think it might actually be okay. Full professional mode to see the preview. How do I get in full professional mode? I've never seen the option. Hi, Janice. I've never seen that option. Joanne, your cats. I can see them right now scurrying all over the place. Oh, that is so funny. Oh. Okay, great. Thanks. I'm glad it's not doing its craziness. Because when we started off yesterday, it was crazy. Uh-oh, Suzanne, what do you mean? Dingbat. Why? Okay, great. Now we won't be distracted. Oh, okay, I'll have to search that out. If I try to look in there right now, I'll probably lose everybody. Hi, Susan. I'm not good with the multiple windows being open. I usually end up clicking the wrong thing and shut down a window I don't want shut down, like the live stream. Okay, well, we got quite a few people here already, so we might as well get going. We'll go slow for those of you that are working along with me. Okay, so now you guys correct me if I'm wrong because, sometimes, as you all know, I get easily confused. We left off where I was going to, when we got back together, we were going to do the cup, see, I've already started, can't think of words. Oh dear, I need another swig of my tea, I think. We were going to put fabric on the spine on the outside. Then I thought, well, then we're going to have to sit and it's going to have to dry. And then, I don't want to be moving it around. So I decided on one of the ones that we were working on, I would go ahead and do it ahead of time. And then together we'll do it on this one. And then when we're ready to put in the signatures while this is drying, we can go ahead and put it on the one that's already been dried. If you follow my drift, that's was the plan. And I think it'll work out. Anyway, this one was the one, if you remember, it had that big old blotch and it was all torn and all you could see was the the board, the raw board. And so what I did is I took one of these printouts that we were working with, and I basically just tore a piece off, and I put some glue just where the rough spot was, the naked spot. And then I laid the paper on there and let it dry. And then I pulled away the paper that wasn't glued down. And then I put a little bit of some kind of ink. I forget, distress ink or something. I forget what I did. And so in the back, here's the piece like I had it. And then I overlapped it. And then I literally just tore it away so it would have a rough edge to it. And then we'll come with the ink. I'm showing you this just in case maybe you get a cover and you see when you go, oh man, it's kind of cool, but it's such a mess. How am I going to cover it up? Well, you could always still use the cover. And if you have a, some kind of a copy machine, you can copy part of the good part of the book if it has a pattern, And then you can slowly start covering it up. And let me get some of that other one. I think I put like 2 different colors on it. And then when I come back, I'll put a sealer on both sides. And it'll start to blend a little bit better. Anyway, it takes a little bit of work, but you get to save if you have like an old book or something that you just can't part with, but you think it's too ugly to use. You work with it, You can make it work, and then you just keep at it. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it right now, but you just keep blending until you're happy with it. I had a little bit more time with this one, but you get the idea, right? And it's just a matter of continuing until it's pleasing to your eye, and then you'll be able to use a radio cover that otherwise you might have just thrown away. Okay, all right, so let me put this over here for right now. Let's put those completely out of the way. So what we're going to do now, oh, and what I forgot to mention yesterday, when I told you that I use this masking tape, there are low tack and super tacky masking tape. And so if yours doesn't stick for any reason, just put a little bit of glue, because like I said, you're just using it to hold it together until you get the actual fabric on it. Because I know some people, this one person contacted me and said, oh, mine isn't sticking. Well, just put a little bit of any kind of glue. It doesn't matter. Just so it'll sit, just so you have something to play with before you put your fabric down. All right, so now we're going to put this on. And, there's all kinds of ways you can do it. It just happens to be the way that I do it. Where is my fabric? Hello. Oh, I used it on here. I have to run and go get me some more. Rosemary, you're real prepared, aren't you? Okay, talk among yourselves. I forgot that I had already used my extra piece on this one. So now I have to run and go get it. Another, yeah, another one. I'll be right back. Okay. And all that I'm using here is just regular old muslin. That's it. So let me cut a little piece. Let me get the width I was using. And I just like to tear it. Okay. Let's see what size we need. And on this salvage, I take it off because I like it to be rough. I don't want it to be all pretty. And you can always use that as a tab or something. All right, so I let it hang, I mean, just ever so slightly, you know, maybe an eighth of an inch, not a whole bunch, because we're going to be putting some of that other fabric on there. So I don't need too much. And then you can have this as white as you want. It's up to you. But on this particular one, I think I did about a quarter of an inch over onto the front because your other fabric, where is that? Let me find the piece. Oh, see, I think I used that one too. I used that one on there. Okay, Rosemary. You're batting 1,000 here. Maybe I have some here, or maybe I have to go cut a piece of that too. Oh my goodness. I told you guys, I just got home. I just got home. All right, so I'm going to get me a piece of this. I can cut one of those. And I put everything away. Where did I put that? Very good question. I know I have some. It's just a matter of where did Rosemary put it. It does not pay to be tidy. I think I put it away. Like away. Oh, here's a leftover bundle. The one that I was playing with. I got a piece right there. There you go. Hey. Okay. So, as I was saying, I usually cut it about a quarter of an inch over here. If I'm using this as a backing, which I am, a quarter of an inch, and then this one usually will lap over a quarter of an inch over this one, more or less. So, if that's what we're going to do, then this needs to be cut about right there. And again, I don't measure anything. See, the secret is if you measure, you can make a mistake. If you're how can you make a mistake if you're not measuring? Because you have no like real point of reference of what it was supposed to be, right? Right? You're just setting yourself up if you measure. Okay. So that's going to go there. That's going to go right there, which will be about 1/4 inch on each side, if you can see that right there. And then I need to get the right length of this one, which on this particular case, I am going to cut this pretty much the exact same length of the book. So I'll just go along there and cut that. And if you make any kind of little mistakes like I always do, then we just straighten it out a little bit. But hey, I actually did a pretty good job. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Okay. And if you want it to be a little bit over, it looks like it's going to be just right. It's a little more than 1/4 inch on each side. Can you see the difference there? It's about 1/4 inch, but probably a little bit more. That's okay with me. One less thing I have to cut. And if you look, it kind of lines up pretty good with covering this section. If you want to expose some of this, then, you would cut it a little bit shorter. Now that's way crooked. You can see that. So I need to straighten that out a little bit. It's still very crooked. All right, let me straighten that out. Okay, whether that's right or not, it's staying the way it is. I don't want to fuss over it too much. Okay, so we are ready to glue. Of course, you can use any kind of glue you have, but I prefer when it comes to this to use yellow fabric tack. It holds up really well. It dries pretty quickly, and I'm just partial to it. So now, if you have any kind of double-sided tape, sometimes I put a little piece of double-sided tape in the back. Plus this, I like, double whammy it. I like to really reinforce it because I'm just a little paranoid that things are going to come off. That's what I did with this one. So I'll go ahead and show you what I did. You don't have to do it. It's not necessary. It's just something that I do. And if I find what I did with my my tape, you know how big that thing is. It's only about that big, right? It's almost impossible to lose. Here it is. I put it on the floor. That's why I lost it. See? Yeah, I lost that. I lost that for a split second. I'm okay. I had lunch. I had lunch today. Okay, I better stop and look up because I haven't looked up in a bit. Let me look. Let me look. Oh, good. Suzanne has days like that. Excellent. um, mm, 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 mm. Okay, so I see questions, but I don't know if they're for me or they're for each other. So I'm only going to answer questions if you put it in all caps, or else I might feel kind of dumb answering questions that you're not asking me. I feel dumb already, but I don't want to feel dumber. All right. So I take this off first, only because if I put the glue and then take this off, I always end up getting the glue all over me. I'm sure you guys have experienced the same thing. And if I can get this off, I know you're saying, get your X-Acto knife and just lift that up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. And let me clean all these goobers off here. I don't know why this glue does this so much, but it does. Okay. Now. Now. And then I actually put a little bit of glue even on top of the tape. Like I tell you, I'm a little paranoid. I don't mind telling you. And then I just line it up like that. Just visually. I have it a little bit over because that's the way I cut it. Try and get it as straight as possible. Here, at least you've got some lines for some point of reference. And there we go. And seeing that tape doesn't matter because this is all going to get covered up. So that's not an issue. Don't worry about that. And because this fabric that we're putting on the cover is pretty thick, if I was dealing with paper or really thin fabric, I would get into these little grooves here. But because we're dealing with something so thick, that's going to hinder. So I'm not going to do that in this case, just so you know. Because you might see me do it a different way with thinner stuff. And you go, well, how come you didn't do that with that? That's pretty much the reason. It's kind of thick, and I don't want it to get all Gitchy goomy. Okay, put that down. Okay. So now, if you want to put some of this, this would be the time that I put this. Not everybody likes all that stuff hanging all over the place, but if you do, now is the time. And I don't put a whole big long piece over it. I just cut a piece and put it on the top and the bottom. Because again, this is already going to be bulky enough. And I don't need it any bulkier. So I cut, maybe an inch, inch and a half. Whatever you think, whatever you want. And I cut two pieces, one for the top, one for the bottom. And then if you really like it, really hanging all over the place, you can pull some of the threads to get it really kind of crazy looking. Some people like a really clean line look, and then others like me like it all over the place. So it's just up to your individual preference. And you can have it hang as little or as much as you want. I usually just have it a little bit. And then if I see it's too much, then I might come back and trim it. But I usually leave it at least that much. Anywhere from a quarter to a half an inch, then you can trim it back. And then again, I just, I'll just scrunch it up. If it's getting a little too compact there, I might cut it and not use it all. I think I might use it all on this case. And also remember in this case that this fabric is going to go a little bit past that. So I forgot that when I did this one, and I stopped this at the muslin. So it's not all the way over on this fabric. So if you want it to go all the way over, remember to extend it a little bit. I'll do that right now. So that it's also under the top piece, if that makes any sense to you guys. I'm sure it does. Okay. And after that's a little bit drier, I'll clip it back a little bit. I'll let it set a little bit there first. And then we do the other side. See, it's not too much, just a little bit. And do the same on this side. Goodbye, Elizabeth. Hey, Patricia. All right, a little bit more glue. Don't forget to extend it over it a little bit to where the other fabric, top fabric's going to go. Okay, this is almost already dry. Trim that back. All right. Just got that portion done. Woohoo! It looks a little prissy, huh? It looks like it's underpants. It's under panties. All right, so now what I do with this, because you can see all that white there, and it looks kind of yucky. So come in with your, whatever kind of ink that you're using. And yes, I did not remember to go get me a proper tool. So it's going to be a mess again. But anyway, try and cover that up as much as you can, all that white stuff. Because little tiny things like this is what makes the difference, you know, in your journal making. It's a little detail sometimes more than the big stuff. Because you can have a beautiful journal and then you see this white line there and you're going, and that's all you end up seeing, you know, like that splotch on the white shirt kind of thing. And then if you're like me, it just bugs me to death. Like, why didn't I cover that up? I'm really wanting to get me a proper tool. How long have I been using this dumb thing? Way too long. Way too long. All right. So I think you can agree that already looks a little bit better. Okay, so now same thing, only different. We're going to glue this down. Only this time, concentrate on this section because you're dealing with a heavy fabric. And so we're going to glue this down first and make that really secure. Don't put any glue out here quite yet. Okay? And to avoid doing that, you can just lift this up and you can make sure that the glue you're putting is on the actual spine, not on the cover. And I don't know what I did with my little tool. Well, this thing's getting ready to be thrown away, so I'll spread it with this. This thing is done. And because you have this to work with, that can help you line up where it goes. And let that stay there for a little bit before we move on. And you can see here where you're going to need to cut that back a little bit. Very good. All right, so let's just leave that to dry just for a little bit. And it dries pretty quick, especially if you're using, you know, that kind of glue. If not, you might want to let it stay just a tiny bit more. But see, because there's going to be a lot of movement and pull because that fabric is so thick. And I want that to be kind of secure before we glue that down. All right. All right, so let me get my bearings here of where my stuff is for the signatures that we're going to do. Let me get the stuff out of the way that I'm not using. I don't think I'll use this or that right now. That right there. We're going to use that in the center. Here are our signatures. Yeah. And if you came in after the first 5 minutes, the only thing I did while we were away last night, I went ahead and I sewed these, the ones that we were going to use as the pockets. We went ahead and sewed, I went ahead and sewed those. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can glue them or you can also hand stitch them. You know, real big stitches would look really cool. If you have like embroidery floss or something like that, that would be a really, really nice touch. So whatever you feel comfortable doing, that's what you're going to do. Now, because I did this one ahead of time, the outside, that means this is all ready for us to go ahead and work on the inside. I did that so you wouldn't have to wait for the other one to dry. So let's go ahead and see how we're going to put these signatures in. And I'll share with you how one of the ways that I do it. And we already cut that piece, remember? And now I don't know what we did with it. No, what's this we? What I did with it. Yeah, what's this we stuff, Rosemary? Oh, I think it's right here. Is that it? Hello. Right where it should be. Let me put this over here. Oh, and I found my little tool. See, I didn't clean up last night, and I didn't have time to clean it before I went on. So everything's just right where I left it, so it's kind of messy. messier than usual. All right. So we have this, and now I just need like a needle, and I need a pencil, and what else? That might be it for now. I got this at a resale shop, and I love working with this to do my signatures. Um, it's just this crochet and knitting cotton, but I think it's kind of old stuff. I've never seen anything like it. The brand anyway. So I don't know if it's old or it's just maybe in a certain part of the country, but it just feels yummy. So that's what I've been using lately. I did it, that's what I used in here in this one. And I like the way it feels. Past couple of journals I've done, I've used that. So we'll use that today. But you can use whatever you have. If you have embroidery floss, if you have wax linen, or just any kind of linen at all, you can use that. I also need to go get me a small clip. I don't always use clips when I work with these small signatures, but for the sake of those of you that this is your first time, I would suggest you use a paper clip or something to hold on to your signatures so you don't get frustrated, trying to work with them. Okay, so what I mentioned yesterday is that when you're working with signatures, that it is easier if you're working with odd numbers of signatures. And the reason I say that is because when you have an odd number, then you can always work from the middle out. If you have even amount of signatures, you have to do way too much calculating. And I don't like doing any kind of math and calculating. So this right here. Oh, and if you weren't with us yesterday, and why weren't you? All we did is we cut a piece that was the same size. Then we cut it down so that there was movement. And then because fabric also adds to the bulk, and we don't want it to be where when you open it, it's a mess. We put the fabric in there, and then we make sure that whoops, can't see. Make sure that thing can still wiggle back and forth. And when it can do that, then it is the right size. All right, so now all we have to do, and this is a piece of manila folder, but you can use cardstock or really, thin cardboard, whatever you have. At least as thick as, cardstock is really the best. Okay, so this is going to be your center. And because we're doing 5, that means we have room now for 2 more signatures on either side. And I don't measure. So, so I will show you what I do. You may want to measure, but what I will tell you, because I hear someone out there already saying, well, Rosemary, why don't you just fold that in half and you have the 2. The only problem with that is that you don't want to put a signature on the very end here, because then again, it's not going to close. Whoops, it won't close. So you can't do it that way. It would seem like that would be the logical thing to do, but you don't want a signature right on that edge. All right. So I literally just kind of look at it. I say, okay, how far in do I want that signature in here? And depending on the thickness, you can kind of sort of guess, like, okay, I can't have that way on the edge. Sometimes it's just common sense. It looks like maybe a quarter of an inch. I will have to come in, right? It looks like that's what I might have to do. So this won't be hitting over here. So let's say it's right there. Say it's about right there. So then the next one will go in between here and there. Whatever that is, that's what it is. And that's what you're going to do. So I'll just mark it over here, mark it over here. And that's where it's going to be. Clear as mud. Is that okay? Okay, okay, okay. So then I'll just draw a and then I just draw a line. Can't see that fold too well. Okay, so this is where your 5 signatures are going to go, right there. And that's going to leave you a nice little gap right there for the thickness of your signature. All right. Any questions so far? Yes, no, maybe? Just that. I have a drink of tea. Now, because this is such a small book, I didn't do a, usually I do a pamphlet stitch with a journal like this. But on this one, because it's so short, I just did one on top. I stitched just, I have just two, what am I trying to say? 2 holes. One on the top, one on the bottom, pulled it through, tied it, and that's all I did. So for you newbies, this is a super, super simple one. How far did I go up? I don't remember. Let me measure. You can do it any length you want. It looks like I did it an inch. So what I would do is measure an inch right there, inch over here, inch there. Then I just draw a line across. Not so straight there. I messed that up. That's okay. Don't tell anybody. And so then the holes you're going to make are going to be on these, in these intersections, right? And for those of you that know how to do all this, I'm just doing all this for the benefit of several that this is the first journal they've ever made. So I'm just trying to make it clear for them. All right. So this is, hi, Hottie. So this will be, how many sheets? What I ended up doing I think I did some of them 7, some of them 8. 1, 2, 3. Oops, that's glued. Let me start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9, 10. These have 10, but as you can see, some of them are very small. Some of them are thin. That's what usually I put about 7 or 8. This ended up being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They ended up being 10. Okay. So there you go. Just trying to catch up here. Okay, great. All right. So then, if you have a pokey tool you like to use, I just use, one of my little chunky needles, and I just put the hole through. Okay, so this serves as your template to line up with this to create your marks of where you're going to do your holes. And then also this serves as the backing. Once you've already done your marking, this serves as the backing for this, which is going to sit in here. But see, I'm going to glue this once I've already used this to mark my signatures. After that job is done, then it gets retired and it's going to go and be glued in here, and then I'll punch the holes through the fabric, and now they'll line up perfectly. And then once we've sewn our signatures to this, and it's just a matter of gluing this on to that. All right, that's one of many different ways to do it. That's just the way I'm going to show you today. All right, so now you get your signatures. If you're happy the way you've got them together, what I would suggest, especially since the size of, make sure that your center page in your signature is longer, wider than where you're going to be poking your holes, because you want the center one to be sturdy. If it doesn't catch them on some smaller ones inside, it's not as important as the one that's holding it all your signature down. So just make sure about that. This one will be fine. You can see that it fits okay. So I'm not going to worry about this one. And I will go ahead and how am I going to clip that together? I might have to go get me like paper clips. It doesn't reach far enough because that's so short. I hope I have long paper clips. I used to. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I might have I might have rusted them all. I went on a rusting tear the other day. Uh-oh. Yep. I think I went on a rusting tear. All right, so we'll do this. You don't have to do anything different. If you have paper clips, just paper clip them. But because I don't have a paper clip, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a second template, okay? So that I can go ahead and glue this down So as I do each one, I'll just sew them in. So I'm gonna create a second template. And on this one, all I have to do is do the center, because I'm going to use that for here. I don't have to do all the 5. And I'll just use that as the template for each signature. So we went in 1 inch, correct? So we just have to mark that inch. And then make our hole right there. Make our hole right there. And that's all we need for our little template. So when you have an independent template like that, then we can go ahead and we can go ahead and glue this down now. So let me get the glue. And because there's not going to be drying time, because I'm doing this, you know, right away with you guys, don't put glue where the holes are, because that's where your needle is going to be going through. Once it was dry, you know, it wouldn't matter so much. But I'm going to be going through this wet, so I'm not going to put any glue on those holes. And then just try and center up and down and sideways as much as possible. Okay. Let that glue dry just a little bit before we continue. Let me see if I can speed that up a little bit with my dryer. Where is my tool? Here it is. I would normally just let that dry naturally, but we don't have the luxury of that time. Whoops. Hello. Okay. Those of you that work with this glue, you know it dries pretty quick. So it's not 100% dry, but it's good enough. Okay. So what I would do next, oh, that's spooky. So next what I would do is get my thread my needle so I can be ready. And this is the part that drives me crazy. Trying to thread this stupid needle. And it's got a big eye, but this thing is pretty thick too, so I'm blaming it on that, not my eyes. It can't be me, you know that. Ooh, I did it. And you can decide for yourself if you want it double or single. It doesn't really matter. And oh, and then if you have papers that go, you know, up and down, that have to go right side up, like this one right here, make sure you remember to check all of them and see if they're all going in the right direction. I cannot tell you how many times I have upside down pages. Okay, so that looks okay there. And even though it doesn't get everything, it helps a little bit. All right. Now, again, I eyeball it. I put this in the center. As you can see, these pages are larger than the book because I like to do that sometimes. The one I showed you guys, its example, I did these all, there's all flush. But I want to make this one more on the wonky side. So all you have to do is kind of visually, you know, find the center. And if you feel uncomfortable with that, then, you know, you could measure and make sure that you're lining it up. But because these are going to have things up and down, there really is no center. So sorry about that. So all I'm going to do right now is use this to punch the holes. So there are the holes. I should have started with this one. I usually like to start with the middle. So I've already made my first mistake. This isn't the middle one. So let's just put this aside. Let's start with it. Let's do it right. Let's do it right. Just for balance, you don't have to do it. That's just what I do. It makes me feel better. If I go from side to side, it doesn't feel like it's falling over onto one side. All right, again, let's make sure this is all going in the right direction. This is a thinner one as far as the thickness of the signature because of this thing, and I intend in this pocket to put something in, so it's going to add to the bulk. So center these as much as possible the way you want them to be. Get your template, center it, put it wherever you want. That piece is kind of thick. Oh, I thought it'd be hard to go through. It was easy. There you go. And then here on the center one, punch your holes through. Matter of fact, you can go ahead and punch them all right now, all the way through to the fabric. Okay. Now the way this is going to be is, if you remember, whoops, that thing fell out. This is going to be sitting this way inside of the journal. Keep that in mind. This is face up. And if you stamp it, or if you have some kind of fabric that goes in a certain direction, make sure it's going in the right direction and everything is heading up before you start sewing, because then you're going to get mad at yourself. And if you want the strings to show inside the center of your signature, you start sewing from the outside here. If you don't want them showing, you would be doing it from the back so that when you tie it off, it's not seen. So depending on how you want it to be. I'm going to show them. So I'm going to go ahead and start from the center. And it doesn't matter if you start from the top or the bottom. Just make sure you remember what you're doing over here. And if it's hard to see, you might want to put a little dot or something, you know, so that you can see where that hole is. Sometimes it's hard to find it. And make sure you leave a tail. Go back in here. You'll find the hole that you already created. Go in. Pull that through. And leave enough, you know. That's a little too much. But, and some people like to leave little dangles, you know, and they like to hang things on them. Because you can always cut it off later if you decide, oh, that thing's just way too long. I don't like that. And take this, I take this off because it gives too much weight when I'm trying to tie it off. And tie that off, and you have your first signature in. And then just double check that everything is going in the right direction before you get too far, because then you just want to, you know, commit Harry Carey when you realize you've done a boo-boo. Who talked about chocolate? Hey, wait, I missed something good. Who's talking about chocolate? Oh, hi, Luce. I didn't see you tonight. You're probably gone. Sorry. Oh, no, she's still there. Is Luce the one going for chocolate? Who's going for chocolate? Oh, well. Okay. So I think you guys, do you have any questions? The newbies, how you do this? If not, I'll just plug ahead and put the rest of them in. And don't cut your string too long like I did, because sometimes it creates knots. Okay. So then I put one on the back side just for balance. Make sure they're all going the right direction. Trying to find the hole. I don't feel it. This is as bad as watching paint dry. All right, 3, 4. How many do we have in? Oh, we've already got 3. Look how cool it looks already. See? Looking pretty good. 2 more to go. And I already put the holes in there. Where is this one going? Just go in the front. Should have gone the back. Oh, that one has a pocket, so let's put the pocket in the front. We don't have one in the front. There we go. Make sure they're going in the right direction. There's some writing on these. I'm getting all crazy. Okay. Center it. Poke a hole. Alrighty, one more. One more. Yay. Oh, it feels good. It feels good. All right. Oh, wow. I think I'll have just the right amount of thread. How about that? Poke that hole all the way through. Okay, so now I'm going to find that hole. Where is that one? Yay! I think that's the first time I've ever cut the string the right length. Oops. Oh well. Oh yeah. Hey, hey. It looks pretty cool. Very chunky. Very sloppy, just the way I like it. I think I want this one to be the front. Are these right? Yeah. Yeah. I like how this is tearing from there. I want that in the front. Okay. We're getting there. All right. Time for me to have a drink. All right. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to glue this down. But before we glue this down, I'm going to put a little bit more, because this board is so thick. I did go ahead and put some of, some of the stain around there, some distressed inks and stuff. But I still am going to put another piece of this cheesecloth right here, just to kind of sort of cover it up a little bit more. I did the same thing on this one. You can see I did it double so that it covered up a lot of that thickness. So let me find my scrap pieces here. I think I had some left over. I think. Yeah, here's a little piece. I have some, it's a different color, but I could use that too. I'll just use this. Hey, Elizabeth. I don't think you missed anything. We just sewed in the signatures. They're all ready to go. We're going to glue them inside in a second. I'm going to put a little bit of this here just to camouflage the thickness of that cardboard. Let me get this one ready. So just put the glue on both ends because you know how that bottle squirts out and you can't stop it. Might as well use it. Have that one ready. Okay. Give that a second to dry. We know how fast that dries. Yay! Hey, Sharon. Did I already say hello? I forgot who I said hello to. But hello, hello, hello. All right. So, any questions so far? You newbies. I am drinking cold tea and I'm cold. I don't know why I'm drinking that tea. I should be making me some warm tea. Okay, this is almost dry. You know, I think there is a mouse or something under my house because I hear like, and it's only at night. I know I had some bunny rabbits that because the house my studio, it's about 2 feet off the ground, and I know at night the bunnies come out. They hide underneath there, and that's okay. But I don't know about these mises. No questions. Yay! Fantastic. Okay, so I think this is dry enough for me to glue this down now. Now, what I do, you can see it's all ready to go in there. Kind of line it up where it's all going to go. And in this case, it doesn't matter because it's going to be wonky on the bottom and the top. But if you are making them even, you know, you kind of eyeball it where it's going to go. And then all I do is I put a little bit of the double stick tape just so it'll hold it, and all the glue. And I do just this part first, just the spine part. So let's go ahead and do that. And yes, I remembered where I put the tape. You can put as little or as much, you know, of the tape that you want. You could do the whole thing with the tape if you wanted. Uh-oh. It's being very stubborn. There we go. Now I gotta lay it flat. Okay, so we got the glue. We got the glue. After my ephemera, you'll be more quiet. What? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? Put underneath there, put it on top, put it everywhere. I even put it on there. And just because I'm a little paranoid, I put a little bit on here. This is the binding after all. You want it to stick together. I put it along the holes. Oops. Make sure you got your front, the proper front. Make sure they're going in the right direction. See, I had it upside down. Make sure you're not getting all your strings involved where you don't want them to be involved. And then kind of make sure you got it where you want it before you. Yeah, that's good. Then what I do is I usually get my ruler and kind of make sure everything is kind of tapped down in there. Just because, you know, sometimes you get these little floaters. And that kind of makes it kind of secure. Okay. So now that's going to have to sit there and dry for a while. You know that, don't you? Fortunately, this kind of glue goes pretty fast. But I don't want to be messing with it right now. I don't want to be opening it up, double checking it, because you know what happens. It gets all wonky. So let me set this up against something so it will dry. Put it over here next to that. And we'll leave that alone for a while. Okay, so we'll come back to this, the one that we were working on, and now we can go ahead and finish this glue down so that that's done. And all I do is put some more of this crazy glue down. Put it along here. And again, I'm not bothering about this crease right here because this fabric is so thick, it'll create too much bulk. So I'm just going to let it lay flat and float. I hear that guy munching. As long as he isn't munching on my wires or my plumbing. But I can hear him right now. Isn't that weird? And he's in the other room, under the house. I hope he's under the house. I hope he's under the house. Yikes. Okay. All right. Now what I did with this one, I did put a little bit of the distress ink on this just to give it a little something something. Now I do have one of these. I don't know if this thing works good. And it just gives it a little, you know, a little bit more of an aged look. And I had gone over the edges, but then I might want to go over them a little bit more just because. I don't know where that came from. I guess some thread from the gauze. Now this is the printout, for those of you that have the printout. Okay, we'll put that over there. And I never did put that on the front of the one I was working on, because that looks a little bright for me. That's better. It's toning it down a little bit. That's torn right there. I like that better. Okay, I like that. That looks pretty done. Yeah, I like that. And where is, okay, that one over there is drying still. Now I don't have anything to put into this one because obviously we put it into the other one. I'm still wondering what that is. It's going to bug me. It's going to bug me. You know that. Oh, there it's coming on the way. I think some of that gauze was, oh well, I'll have to deal with that. Figure out how to get that out of there. Oh, hey. That was going to be my front. I think it's going to have to be my back. Oh, there we go. Okay, almost. Almost covered it up. All right, so now oh, well, even here in the States, not all Walmart, psst, take two, not all Walmarts sell fabric. So not everyone is going to find it. I have, in my town, we have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 super centers and only one sells fabric. And then the town next to me, they've got like 2 or 3 and none of them sell fabric. So there you go. All right, now let me see how dry that is. I hate to play around with it while it's drying. Yeah, it's still dry. I don't want to mess with that. Don't want to mess with that because that'll really mess it up. Okay, so we can't do anything with that one, I don't think, for the rest of the evening. So then the question becomes, what else should we do? Should we wait to do the embellishing on that one once it's dry, or should we, even though this one, you know, is a smaller one, but it has the same papers and everything. And I've already done some stuff in this one. What should we do? Hey, Beth. I'll leave it up to you guys because you're the ones watching. You want to put it on hold and do that tomorrow when it's all dry? Or what do you guys think? Oh, you want to create ephemera. Oh my gosh. I'm not real good at that. I'm not like a real ephemera person. We can wing it. What kind of ephemera you guys want? We can do something. I'm up for challenging myself. Now, everybody means something different when they say ephemera. So kind of sort of be a little bit more specific. A wee bit. Go for it. Dress it up. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me think. Let me think. Let me think. Oh, this is in here. I'm going to do something with that. I was going to do something with that. I wanted those in there. Let's take these little pieces out that I had just stuck in there. Yeah, because if you guys are waiting on me to be the ephemera queen, I'm not. That's the last thing I do. Okay. So let's see the kind of stuff that I threw in there for you guys to play with. Not for me to play with, for you guys. For you guys to play with. Let's see. I put this little card in there. Maybe we can do something with that. And then you guys got the little birdie cards, right? I know you got those. And a couple of base, you know, little base stuff glued on to a couple of tags for you guys to finish them off. And then a couple of envelopes, right? And also there was a couple of these. And then everybody got a couple of random pictures to play with. Right? Right. Oh, is Ami here? Hey. Oh, she's still at work. Poor thing. Ah. Okay. So what do I want to do? I'm always caught in the middle when I like both sides. You're like, what do I do? But see, this journal isn't even big enough to create like a flip on there because it's so narrow. Well, see, that already isn't going to work. Let's cut a birdie out. Let's put a birdie somewhere while I'm thinking what I want to do. I have no idea. Let's see, where are my scissors? Maybe I should cut these out. See, I hate fussy cutting too. That's not my thing either. Fussy cutting is not my thing. Fussy cutting is for people that have a lot of nerves. Nerves of steel. I always think I'm going to make a mistake. Now see, that tree makes it look like he's got something on his head, so I got to cut that off. Looks like he had a growth. He looks like a cardinal with a point on his head, and I know he's not a cardinal. I know he's not a cardinal. Okay, so do we want to put something in the back to make it stiff, or do we just want it like that? Or do we just want to glue that down? I don't know. Forgot to look in the back. Oh well, too bad now. Oops. Sorry, but I'm going to separate these guys. I think it's time they break up. Maybe. Maybe. Wow, this looks like a matchstick. I mean, it really, really does. Why am I cutting out these birds? I don't like to cut. I could have just glued the whole page down. What are you guys making me do? Now I don't know if that was a stick or if that was his leg, because I was thinking of chopping it off. Poor animal. Okay, I think I need to leave his leg on there. I think it's his leg. Poor guy. I should have looked at that closer. uh, Tate rosemary. Oh, I don't think I have any. I used it all up and I forgot to make some new. So I can't tape anything down. I don't think I have any. Oh, he looked cute there, but I have to get rid of his buddy. See, he would look cute in there, but his friend has to go. I think his friend would have to go. Oh, he looks kind of cute there. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me see if I have any of that tape. If not, I can make it really quick and I think it'll dry quick enough for us to use it. Hold on. I'm trying to remember if I have some made already. But I'm pretty sure he used it all. I think the last journal I sold, I put some in the package. Yeah, I don't know any. Let me see if the shellac is here. Because I had used it over at the house. Let me see if I brought it back. Ooh, I brought it back. Okay, we can make some real quick. If you don't mind watching shellac dry. Okay. This is what I use. Whether I'm working with clear shellac or amber shellac, this is the only shellac I use. The shellac-a-lacca. I'm going to lose this little guy. I know it. Where should I put him? Put him, when I go crazy looking for it, I put him on top of my gesso jar, okay? Because I'll forget. Where'd the other guy go? Oh, he's still in here. That's a good place for him. I'll put them both in there. And I'll put this on top of the gesso jar. Remind me. Okay. Don't want to get that dirty. Don't want to get this dirty. Okay. Yay, clean desk. Put my scissors away so I don't get shellac shut. Put this over here. And then get my tape. I had already put some tape down on here to shellac, and I never got to it. So we're that much ahead. I don't have to bore you with putting the tape on there. Okay. Now, try to find a little brush I don't mind ruining. And I also use the cosmetic little sponges on that too. And let me get my can opener. And my little stirring stick. Little stirring stick. Where'd it go? It was here before. I know it's here. I know it's here. Well, I'll just have to use another stir stick. I use my chopsticks to stir with. Cheap, but you can really use them over and over and over. Okay, so those of you that have never made, and I can't even show you the tape because I don't have any. Oh no, I do have it in a book. I'll show you the book, just for those of you that don't know what the heck we're doing. We all love that vintage, or most of us like that vintage yellowed tape in all that old yummy ephemera. Like this. And like that. And like that. And so that's what we're going to make. Some of that tape, because that's not real tape. I made that tape. Okay. The way we do that is, let me find, all right, so you have to use clear tape and not the transparent one. The transparent one is foggy and it won't work. I mean, I've seen people use it. I mean, I shouldn't say it won't work. It won't work as well. Let's put it that way. It's the transparent one. I mean, excuse me, it's the clear one that works, not that foggy, transparent stuff. All right, so then what I do is I put it on a piece of wax paper, or anything that's waxed. If you have the freezer paper, that will work too. And then I just lay it down, and then I get my amber shellac. It has to be amber shellac to work. Some people like to use alcohol inks to do this. It works well too. If you use certain colors, it will give the same effect. I just like this better. Just a personal preference. And I'm running low. Let's go this way. Let's see, where is it? Where did I stop? It's really hard to see. Oh, there it is, right there. Okay. And I always get my hands filthy, so maybe I should be smart this time and go put at least a pair of gloves on this hand. Hold on. I think I scared the mouse or whatever it is. He got real quiet. I don't hear him anymore. But you can see the color is already, you know, the color of that tape that we want, right? And fortunately, this stuff dries pretty fast. So you have to put, I would say, at least 2 or 3 coats, because you can see this is pretty light. And you don't want to put too much the first time because it just doesn't work. Trust me, I've tried it. So I can't see where the tape is right now, so I'm just going to do the whole thing. When it says clear, it means clear. And it doesn't matter all those bubbles because they just kind of all disappear. So don't worry about that. If you used a regular brush, it probably wouldn't make the bubbles. It's making the bubbles because of the sponge. But I like the look when I do it with the sponge more than the brush because I don't like it does leave kind of strokes. And when you do it this way, it doesn't. Like I say, the bubbles kind of all disappear. And I could just go like that, but I do this just because I want the splotchiness. I don't want any streaks. I don't want it even. So I kind of take the long route. And I don't smell any odor to this. My husband says he smells an odor, but he's like, it's like, super sensitive to smells. I don't smell anything. I could stick my whole face in there and I still wouldn't smell anything. Oh, this dispenser, it's just this. I got this at the dollar store, Dollar Tree. And it just says crystal clear. You can use packaging tape too. I think I put a piece on here. I'm not sure if I did or not. I have in the past. But usually I end up cutting it down anyway, so I stopped using the packing tape because, I end up wanting it the size of a regular piece of tape because that's what I'm trying to replicate. And where's the last of it? Right there. Yeah, it is. It's the same stuff from Dollar Tree. That's right. That's where I get it. Okay. Oops. Clear your ears a little bit. I'm going to try and dry this a little bit. I'm not going to get real close to it because shellac, in its wet state, it is flammable. So we'll stay away from it, but just create little air. It's still damp, but that's okay. Let's start with the second. It's still a little tacky, but that's okay. It's not going to hurt nothing. Well, you guys are just watching a lot of fun stuff tonight, huh? Just a bunch of stuff drawing. All right. It doesn't want to stick there for some reason. Now, oops, all sticky. Look at that. I would probably put a third, but you know, it's not going to dry if I do that. So let's just leave that. But know that I would probably put another coat. But it's going to, we're going to have to wait way, way too long for this to dry. All right, just so you know. So Let me get rid of this altogether. Get this out of here so I don't knock it over. No, I wasn't killing the mouse. I was putting the lid on the shellac. Okay, let's try drying this again. Watch your ears. Hey, Sharon. I don't want to heat that up too much. Drive you crazy. Let me find something to kind of see if I can dry it a little bit. This will work. There's not much to listen to tonight, huh, Sharon? Just a bunch of noise. Still tacky. Sharon, right now I am showing how I make my vintage looking, antique looking tape when it gets all that yellow amber kind of color. So I make that up and I put it in my journals. So that's what I'm doing right now. Before, we were putting together the kit that we're doing together, creating this journal, but that had to dry. So we're just watching things dry right now. See, it's still tacky. So anyway, it's super simple, you guys. All right, you just throw the tape down, and my version is with the shellac. The advantage of doing it with the alcohol inks is that, you know, alcohol inks dry, you know, a lot quicker. That's a big advantage. But usually I make big batches, so it's not like a factor for me. I've used almost always have, you know, backup. But my last batch, I don't know, I was feeling generous and I Well, she got a very expensive journal. And so I felt generous. So I just gave her what I had left. Pretty good. Getting there. My whole hand doesn't stick. Okay, one last time with the gun. I know, Sharon, right? We do that, don't we? Well, that's part of the artistry, right? Trying to replicate a gone by time. Let's see. Gone by? Bygone? You know what I mean. Okay, it's not completely dry, but I think we can do a little something with it. Here, let me wave it a little. Let me wave it a little bit. I think it's almost cracker time. I'm getting hungry. What time did I eat? I had breakfast, and then I ate, I guess it would be lunch, I don't know what it was, about 2 o'clock. And I'm getting hungry. Just slightly tacky. Not too bad. The problem is when it's not fully dry, sometimes the shellac has gotten underneath and it's a little damp. No, it's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, so now, like, what the heck are we going to do with this now? You think about that while I get my cracker. I stepped it up a little bit. It's not just plain old peanut butter this time. Don't want you to think that I'm only eat peanut butter. Although it's my favorite. It's my favorite. Okay. While I chew, what are we going to do? Anything you want to age, and I mean anything. Shellac does a beautiful job. The amber shellac. I just love it. But you have to be okay with the glossiness. I mean, it's not like super, super glossy, but it by no means it's not going to be matte, you know. It looks really nice on paper. Jennifer, most definitely, Sharon. I put it, I'll show you one that I did it on a cover. Hold on. I did it on this one. This cover right here. This is tissue paper. That was white tissue paper. And I think about 3 layers of amber shellac on this. I have another, or is it already gone? I forget which journals I still have and which are gone. Which one's found a new home? Let me see. Oh yeah, this one too. This one here is let me untie it. If I can untie it, I usually make a knot. This is my other giant glue book. This is also tissue paper, and then these birds are from a napkin, and I just glued everything down. Well, first I painted everything white, then I put the paper, and then I put the napkin, and then this has maybe 1 or 2 coats of the amber shellac. It's my favorite go-to thing, my favorite finish on my books. Yeah, I love this cover. This is, I don't even remember what kind of a book this was. I honestly don't remember. Just some old junky book. And, oh, I didn't do it on the inside. Did I do it in the back? No. But to get, whenever you use tissue paper or napkins, if you want the exact look that you see, as far as clarity of the images, you have to paint your background white, just because, you know, when you have napkins, the underlayer is white, right? And that's what makes that particular print look a certain way. So I go ahead and do it all white on the background, and then lay whatever tissues or napkins or whatever on top, and then it gives a true color. But then I come back anyway with the amber shellac and kind of dull it all. But at least, you know, underneath is still that bright color, and that really helps when I do the shellac. And like I say, it's my favorite go-to. I really like the way it looks. And see, this is part of that same napkin. You guys probably recognize this napkin from Tuesday morning that has the birds and these flowers and that flower. And then I just left this plain. I didn't put the shellac on it just so it could pop out from the background. Yeah, a lot of people make that mistake. I mean, I did the mistake, and then finally I figured, well, why aren't the colors coming out the way the napkin's supposed to look? Well, hello, it's white behind the napkin. So it took me a few mistakes to figure that one out. So now if I want it to look just like the napkin, make sure, if your background isn't just naturally white, you need to paint it. And then it'll come out, the way you want it. Well, if you don't, Sharon, if you don't like the way your napkin page looks like, just paint over it. Paint it white and start over. You know, you just have texture. That's all. We're always trying to get texture on our pages. Cracker time. Good night, Janice. Have a good day. If you enjoy your work, have a good day tomorrow. It might be the weather, Sharon. I know a lot of people, when the weather changes, their internet. I don't know what the correlation is, but it happens a lot. Let me see if that spine on that other one is dry. If not, we might have to finish this up tomorrow. Kind of, sort of. We might be able to finish this up because all we got to do is glue it down. I just didn't want to be messing with it while it was wet. We might be able to do that. Let me finish my cracker because I really am hungry. I just saw what Kathy said. Yeah, it is exciting, right? Watching me age tape. Well, I don't think the other people were too excited. I see people leaving. I see the numbers over there. This, I'm wondering. I know I'm going to put something over this, but I was just now wondering, maybe we could experiment and put the amber shellac over this and see what it does to it. What do you guys think? I mean, it's going to age it more, right? The color, it's obviously going to age it. It might be fun to experiment because, I mean, this one is such, you know, it needs help. Let's put it that way. Oops, upside down. Yeah, I think this is dry enough for us to go ahead and glue this down here. Now, some people, like to put other kinds of papers on here. When I'm dealing with an old book, I like to leave it the way it is. I think, it's over 100 years old, that piece of paper. Why would I want to cover it up with another piece of paper to try and make it look old? You know what I mean? It's already old. So I would just leave that. So what we'll do is we'll just glue these down now with that glue. Go for it. Go. Jennifer's ready for me to go for it. Let me glue that down first. After I finish my cracker. Sorry, guys. Sorry, but I have to eat my cracker. I'm hungry. I tried transfer with paint the way you showed the other day, and wow, oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Now, I don't know if this is what you meant, Tamar, but you can do a transfer um, over that shellac. It would look super duper cool. Put the shellac down, and while it's damp, while it's still wet, put your transfer on there, and really flatten it out so you get all the air bubbles out. Leave that, and then when you come back and do the reveal of that, it's going to come through. It's going to antique whatever it is that you put on there. It'll look really cool. So if you do a black and white, it'll almost look like a sepia. And don't forget, when you're doing transfers, whoops, spitting food all over. When you do transfers and it's from your own stuff, it's something you're going to print, use thin paper. The thinner the paper, the easier your transfer is going to be, because that's the thicker the paper is, that's the more paper you got to get off. And so if you have very little paper that needs to be removed, it's a lot easier process and less likely for you to make a mistake. We're going to do all that in detail next month with the kit. Hint, hint. No, we are. That's one of the projects we're going to do. Okay. Let me get my glue. And let's glue this puppy down. Again, if you want to put a different paper, on the back, that's up to you. If you got one of the books. Of course, if you have the printout, you had to put something back there. I had glue on my hands to rub it off. Okay. Same thing. I had to go buy another glue today because I knew pretty soon I'd be running out. No, Joanne, you don't have to seal it at all. The alcohol ink, that's permanent on there, so you won't have to. Yeah, it does work out pretty cool. I forget the colors I've used. I used like honey, and I forget what the ones I used on there. Cool. All right. Can you believe it? This is actually maybe done. The basic construction of it. Yes, sirree, bub. Yay! Okay. Should we or shouldn't we? I guess you guys already said you want to see what the shellac looks like on there. Oh, let's just do it. Let's just do it. What can it hurt? Nothing. It can't hurt nothing. And then, oh, we also have this one, the one that we made from the printout. We could. This is already dark, though. I don't think I want it any darker. Well, who knows? We might get adventurous and do both of them. Who knows? But let's do this one for sure. Let me go get the stuff again. And let me put something underneath here. So, in case it dribbles, we don't have a big old mess. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and use that because I'm comfortable with that. You guys can use brush, bristle, or a sponge brush, whatever you have or whatever you like. I'll squeeze a little bit off so I don't have any dribbles. I'll get as close as I can over here. Oh, you can hardly see it because it's already dark, see? It's just going to give it a nice warm sheen. You can see the difference, right? Obviously. I mean, I hope you can. I can see it on mine. All right. Now we're dealing with a lot of different different textures and papers. This is like real antique paper. This is the one that I printed, and this is leather up here that's fallen apart. And this is cardboard down here that I'm going to try and incorporate exposed part of the board that the book was made from. Ooh, I feel like I'm working in a museum. In a second, the theme song to Indiana Jones is going to start. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Ooh, cool. I like how it looks. See, it's so dry, I just sucked it up. If you were 120 years old, you'd be dry too, sucking it all up. Yeah, exactly. It's a boo-boo disguiser. It's already dry. I'll make sure it's really dry so I can turn it over and do the other side. All right, let's try it. Try not to leave any lines from the pulling when you glide it across. That sponge tends to, when you do it lightly, it tends to smush out to the sides. And that would be the same if you were using a sponge brush too. So just be careful about that if you do it. You can see where it's sucking it in, right? The color's different. So if you've patched something up, keep an eye on that too. Try and even it out. As it's sucking it up, put some more. Oops, I'm stuck. All right. I like it. So why don't we go ahead and try the one that we printed out and see what it does for that one. What do you guys say? What do you say? Huh, 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 huh? What do you say? See, it's kind of dry right there, though. I don't know if you can see that. I can always come back. Let's wait till it's totally dry. See what sucks up and what doesn't. Okay. Let's get a little. I don't need that. I do need some height. Let's just do that. Get my fingers. I'm losing my glove. I'm losing my glove. Oh, I see my name. Oh, Sharon, I gotta double check that. How cool is that? I'm gonna have to double check that one. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh my goodness, it's making it dark, but it's cool. Oh my goodness. Look at that. I don't want anybody that got the printout to complain. I think yours looks prettier than the real book. Yep. Yep, 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 yep. Woohoo! Look at that. Is that scrumptious or what? You are a star, Sharon. Very cool. Let's put one more because that thing is dry. It's already sucked it all up. I think now you guys know why I love this amber shellac so much. It doesn't matter what you put it on. It just enhances it so much. In my kitchen, when I remodeled it, or I shouldn't say remodeled it, it was a brand new kitchen in a different room. I put this on my cabinets and I just love it. Now, I hope it doesn't dry with those streaks though. Not streaks, but it's the way it's sucking it up. We'll see how that ends up. I think because it's just raw paper. Maybe I should have put a little sealer on the paper before I did the, even though this is a sealer in effect, but because we're just dealing with paper. Or maybe it's the way it's drying. Maybe once it's dry, it'll all even out. Let me, oops, dry this up a little bit so I can put another coat on there. See how it's getting these lines right there? I don't like that. CJ, I don't know what you're drinking or what you're smoking. Yeah, it's leaving those streaks. I don't like that. See, things like that bug me. I know you'd only be able to see it at a certain angle, but you know, it still bugs me. So let's go this direction. Whoops. I think now it's going to do it in that direction. Oh no. It has something to do with the paper. Maybe that'll fix it. That'll fix ya. We'll just let that one dry, and then we'll do the back side and then see what we need to do, if we have to do anything. Oh, that looks pretty. Oh, see, I see that streak right there. I don't like that. I don't like that. They have shellac in a spray. If this continues to do that, I'll just put a light coat with the spray. I usually don't like to use the spray because obviously it goes all over the place and I have to do it outside. But if I have to, I will. And that'll straighten it all out. Does it work on the, I don't know, and I'm afraid. Let me see, let me find a piece and we'll test it. I don't want to do it on there because I don't want to ruin the whole book. I know it'll be okay on the paper, so that's why I did it. What I will do, I'm going to do the inside, and that'll look super cool because it's just a paper from a book, and it'll look really nice. I already know what that'll look like. So while that's drying, let's get a little piece of leather and see what happens. Let's see what happens. I'll do half so we can see the difference. Oh, it just makes it dark. Oh, so you lose all of the dimension because everything turns one color. Unless it dries different. Let's see what it dries as. Oh, come on. Yeah, I think it's just gonna look kind of flat. We'll see. Let's let it dry. No streaks. Yeah, no streaks. Well, it doesn't dry as fast as paper, so this isn't absorbing it. It's just sitting up on top. So it's going to take longer to dry. I can't see. I can't do what I can't. It's like the chewing gum thing. I can't do it. I can't wave this one way and wave the other one the other way. But needless to say, it makes it very dark. And yeah, it's just dark. Let it dry and see what happens. But I don't think I would. I don't think I would do it. But it's good to know that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to spray it. or put some wax on it after it's all dry. Yeah. Okay, so let's do this side so we have both sides. So I can already see it's going to do the same thing on this side. So it's just the paper, the way it's absorbing it. So we'll let that dry a little bit, and then I'll go this direction. Yeah, this one is just the streaks are covering up pretty good on this one. I'm not sure what the difference is. It's printed on the same piece of paper. Literally, because I just cut it in half. When does Creativation start? It's this week, right? Who knows? This is a test. Or is it next week? Who knows? Who knows? Oh, it already started. Never mind. When? Like today? Because just yesterday, Tim Holtz had a video, and he says we're going to debut this at Creativations, not like we did. So, oh, today. Okay. Woohoo! A lot more stuff we don't need. Oh, wow. This one dried fast. That's weird. Way faster than the other side. Very strange indeed. Hey! Oh, I knew Gail would do that. It's so funny. Gail bought this kit and she was taking it to her hotel room with her. She said so that she could work on it when she would come back to her room. And I told her, between all the goodies you're going to bring home and how tired you're going to be when you get back to the hotel room, trust me, you're not even going to touch this kit. Too funny. So yeah, I can just see her coming home, working on a kit. Get real. She's just going to be all giddy and happy with all the stuff she saw, the people she met, her bag full of stuff. Oops. I shouldn't have touched there. It wasn't dry. Rosemary, stop it. It was looking good. You're going to mess it up. Okay. Better. Better, 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 better. Oops. Oh, this is dry. It is kind of cool. I mean, if you don't know what it looked like before, if you don't have anything to compare it to, it looks pretty cool. It actually does. It looks more tooled, doesn't it? Tooled when it's darker. Or is that just my imagination? What do you guys think? Looks like real leather. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think I liked it better before too. Well, it's just a whole different look. And it's all dry. This looks more velvety and this looks more leather, I think. Tumbleweeds? Where are your tumbleweeds, Jennifer? What are you talking about? Okay, we'll let that dry. And let's go back to the first one we did and see. Whoops, I'm getting stuck. And see if we need to put another coat maybe. It might need another one. No, I already forgot which is the front and which is the back. Let's see. Okay, this is the front. So let's put another one on the front. Oops, forgot the paper. Very good. That triangle with the leather. Real leather. Falling apart. But real nonetheless. Oh gosh. Okay, we'll let that dry. Okay, that's dry. That's dry. Okay, I'll show you how cool it looks when we do it inside. It ends up the same color that we do the tape. Very antique-y. So if you like the distressed look, this gives you the antique-y look. With any kind of paper you use. I like it. I think it looks pretty cool. All right. Whoops. Okay, what else? So we got the front and the back of this one already done. And that one is drawing. My original one, I haven't put any of that on there. I wonder if I should. If I should go ahead and put the, or just leave it the way it is. I'm not sure. think I'm going to have to put wax on this and I'm done. I have to wait till tomorrow when it's totally dry, see what I decide to do with that. And see, this dries so fast, this is dry. That's what I like about shellac. If it's on something porous, it is like dry in seconds. And because that paper's old, it dried really super fast. I'll dream the answer. Yeah, I probably will. I think I'll probably want one just to be natural. I might put just some a sealer wax on there. Maybe I'll do that right now, just so I know that one's done. And if I put that sealer wax, that will take away my temptation to put the shellac on there. I think I answered my own question. And this just puts a protective coat to the leather also. That leather is so fragile, it's falling apart. You got to be real careful. If you're doing this on yours and you're doing it with the real cover, do it real gentle because this leather here is, you know, seen better days. Got to be gentle. This is a wax. It's used for a lot of different things, but it's primarily a furniture wax. This brand is Daddy Van's all natural beeswax and lavender furniture polish, and it's a sealer. So, like when you don't want to, like if you have wood, and you don't want to put shellac or varnish or any of those kinds, you can seal it with this, and you have to do it, every so often. You have to put a new coat of this on your furniture, but it works really good on leathers and different types of things, and so um, I thought that might give it a nice little sheen. And it's also really good for mixed media. If you have pages, if you like to work with Mod Podge, and it sometimes, not just Mod Podge, any kind of medium that isn't matte, any kind of that has gloss, it will tend to stick page to page if you use them in a journal, like a mixed media journal or something like that. And this will stop it immediately. So you just put a coat of this over your page, your mixed media page, and the stickiness will stop. Because you're putting this wax on it, and so no, wax to wax, it's not going to stick. But acrylic to acrylic will. And that's all those mediums are that, we put on our pages. It's all acrylic. And acrylic is basically a glue. So this, I'm pretty sure it's sold on Amazon. If you can't get it, just let me know. And, the next package that goes out, I can buy it here and send it to you if you can't get it over there. See, and it feels so clean. Sometimes books feel grimy. This just makes it feel so clean. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to leave that one like that. And I'm going to leave the inside just the way it is. I'm not going to change anything with that one. So as far as the basic construction, this one's done. This is done. Let's go back to this one. I think this is done too. And see, even on top of this, once it's completely dry cured, you could always come back with this, even though you don't need it. But it gives it like a different feel. It's not going to change the color or anything, but it's just to the touch. And the fact that we're dealing with a journal and we're going to be touching it all the time, it may not be a bad idea. So this, as far as the construction, I would say this one is done also. Yay, we got 2 done. Can't believe it. All right. Now, this is dry. Now I'm going to see if the wax, this is a test, if the wax does anything to take away those streaks. It took them away. Excellent. This wax is a little miracle worker. Very cool. Let's see if it does it in the back. Did I have them in the back? Yeah, I can see them in the back. Oh yeah, it took all the streaks out. Okay, I'm happy now. They were gonna bug me. Alrighty. There's still a little streak right there. Well, if it doesn't come out, I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'll put it in the back. Oh, I can't. I already know what the front and the back is. Anyway, so that is the inside of that one. And I'll have to just, put the signatures. I don't even have any signatures for this one yet. I'll put that together. And that'll be that. That's done. That one's done. And that one's done. It's funny how they're all a different color, right? Because that has the shellac and it's the book. That has the wax into the book. And then this is the printout, which was a different book. I didn't print out this book because this was the one that was a mess. But this got really dark. That paper got really, really dark when I put the shellac on there. But they're still going to look pretty cool, I think. I do believe. Where did my little thingamajigger go? Come on. What did I do with it? Oh, I'm sure it's here in the pile. I never lose anything. It always ends up being underneath something else. Okay, I'm going to put the lid on this. I don't want that to dry out. I'm done with the shellac. Let me put that inside here so I don't have a bigger mess. Very good. Put the lid on. Let's go check out our tape real quick. It should be all pretty much dry. Let's see where we might want to put a piece. Sometimes I don't know where to put a piece, so I tear something on purpose and then put a piece. I know, I'm bad. I just put a piece here somewhere just so we can see it. There's my scissors. I hope whoever it was that asked for this is still here. I forgot who it was now. That's how fast I forget things. No, I forgot. That doesn't tear. I'm thinking I can tear it. See how cute. I can go crazy with this tape. I can overdo it very easily. Oh, I like it there. Let's put a piece. Let's put a piece right there. Oh, these little ones. These little ones need a little. It needs a little something. Oh, look how cute. Ooh, I need to put some right there. Okay, that's the beginning of my tea. So you get the idea. Yep, where to go? Kind of cute. Okay, ladies. I think that's all we can do for tonight. Um, as far as the construction, it's done. As far as how you end up embellishing your kit with the pieces, parts that we have left, you know, that's a personal preference. Ooh, man, that one's still pretty crunchy there. Oh, this one might need some of that old tape. Even though this really was old, it didn't look old, but now it looks a little older. So yeah, I'll have to tomorrow play around with this, see what I want to do with it. I'm not inspired right now. I can't think of what I want to do. But usually what I do, this, tell you the truth, this is what I do. I'll flip through this like 3 or 4 times. And then I go look at my stuff that I have, you know, junk or magazines or whatever. And then I come back and I look at it again. And then I go back and look at my junk. And then at some point, something goes, bing! And then, you know, I do it really fast. But just to like go and do it, I can't do that because I can't like force it. I just have to let it come naturally. That's the best way I can explain it. So I might get inspired sometime tomorrow. I don't know. I might do something to it. And then again, I might just look at it for another day or so. I just don't know. It'll come to me though. Lots of times I look and then I go, no idea. And then all of a sudden, boing. But they were a lot of fun putting together. I enjoyed sharing it with you guys. And I really look forward to seeing what you guys end up doing. I'm sure they're going to be wonderful. Oh, hi, Lorna. I didn't see you here. Welcome, welcome. I'm looking back. I think I missed some stuff. Oh, just chit chat. Okay. I thought maybe I missed a question. Okay. All right then. So I've got some of you have already contacted me at Etsy for February's kit. So I've got you guys on a list. So obviously, so you won't miss out. So you're there on the list. You'll be the first ones. And I'm still putting it together. I ordered something that I want to put in the kit, so I'm waiting for that to arrive. And once that arrives, I think I have most of the stuff. And as soon as I have all the stuff for sure, then I'll put the listing in and I'll contact you guys that are on my list. Thank you, Jennifer, for keeping us company. Happy exercising. Jennifer is so diligent in her exercises. She's so, I should say, disciplined. I don't know if I could be that disciplined about anything. I guess when it comes to your health, you don't have a choice, right? I mean, you have a choice, but hopefully you make the right choice. Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one, Lorna. So also, let me think here what I was going to share with you guys, or ask a question, I should say. Oh yeah. What I was going to say is that I've got the next 2 or 3 months planned, as far as, what I'm doing with the kits. But if there's any ideas you guys have, I'm open to them. It doesn't mean I have the stuff and we can do it, but you never know. I just might. So be thinking about that and see if you have any requests or suggestions. Because sometimes I think I know what the average person likes, and then I find out that they like something that I had no idea about. So just like yesterday, we were talking about Frida. Nobody ever talks about Diego, so I just figured most of you didn't know about Diego, and it turns out a lot of you did know about him, and I didn't know that. So that was interesting to find out that you know about him too. You just don't talk about him. Oh, you don't even have tomorrow plan. Oh, I have sort of like a basic plan. It's real broad. See, Lorna knows who he is too. It's just, I think it's because everybody always talks about Frida, and I never hear anybody talk about Diego. I mean, as far as you journal ladies, that always talk about her. I never, I shouldn't say never, never, because never's never, but I can't remember anybody ever mentioning him with her or alone. So I just assumed you didn't know, weren't aware of him as an artist. And actually, when it comes to some of the art, I favor his more than hers. I like her story. I like her background. I like her motivation for her art, but I actually liked a lot of his stuff more, especially um the marketplace ones. Those are my favorites. All those florals and the ladies and the big beautiful black braids and what I call his pretty work as opposed to his dark work. See, Suzanne knows too. She knows him. Okay, ladies, I am going to let you go. I am going to see if sometime tomorrow I can get inspired to maybe do something with these and see what happens. And continue working on my little kits that I got going. And again, let me know if you come up with any kind of ideas. Um, yeah, exactly. You can see all that in her work. One of the covers I'll show you real quick. I don't know if you saw it. One of my covers I'm working on for her. I have two. I just don't know where the other one is right now. This is my interpretation of her tortured soul. That's the cover to her journal. Oh, I didn't have barbed wire, but I had chicken wire. Yeah, Suzanne, he was, but she was pretty stupid because she married him 2 times. So I don't know what that says about her. She liked to be tortured. She was used to pain either way, so she figured, why not? All right, ladies. I'll see you guys when I see you guys. I'll probably see you in somebody else's live before I see you on mine. And contact me through any way you can if you come up with an idea that you think might be interesting for a kit in the future that we can work on together. All right. All right. Thanks again. Good night, everybody.